Hey guys, and welcome to this video. This will be the very first video in a series where I'm going to develop a round for my Gladiator map for Warcraft 3 and showcase the entire development to you guys. If you don't know what my map is all about, then I suggest you check out the link in the description to the Hive workshop. There's a page which describes pretty much everything. So I don't want to do any more boring talk. Let's just get this video rolling and start developing a really cool round. Okay, so when I want to make a new round, I usually have some sort of idea to build upon. I get these ideas random, and when I do, I write them down, and when I want to create the round, I build upon these ideas. And this is also the case for this round. I want to do something with the Naga race for this round. I don't know what kind of units yet, I just know that it has to be something with Naga race, and perhaps some other sea creatures or something like that. I also have an initial idea for a mechanic which I'm quite sure I want to implement into this round. This mechanic is an ability cast by these Naga Sirens, and the ability is an ability they will be channeling most of the time, and it will summon a tornado for each gladiator in the map, and then each of those tornadoes will follow the corresponding gladiator. And the gladiators will have to run away from the tornado because standing near it will deal damage to you. But apart from that, I'm not quite sure exactly which units that we are going to use or which kind of mechanics that we're going to use. So the very first step will be to figure that out. So here I'm just trying to figure out what kind of units that I want in the round. Usually I have some sort of idea what units that I want, or at least from what kind of environment that I want them. In this case I want something with Naga and sea creatures and such. But in the end, I decided for these units for the rounds. So I was thinking about turtles and hydras and all that, but I actually ended up going primarily with Nagas and a single other unit, which is the water elemental. But this is going to be a summoned unit, so it's not going to be like a primary unit of the round. And then of course there's the tornado, but I'm not sure that's going to be an actual unit. I might have some other trick up my sleeve to fix that problem. I also came up with the mechanics for this round, so let me just really quick explain what this round is going to be about. We're going to have these three units, these primary three units, the Nagas. And the first unit is the Siren, which I talked about earlier. She will have that tornado ability, and aside from that she will also deal some sort of lightning damage to all units around her, because she won't have an auto attack. And the other unit over here is the Stormcaller, which basically just is a melee unit which summons these water elementals. And these water elementals will have a line attack, just like a Crushing Wave line attack, not as big as the Crushing Wave, but similar to it. And the last unit is the Myrmidon. And the Myrmidon is a basic melee unit. They have a higher HP than the other unit. They don't have so much damage, but they have an ability which is similar to the Gladiator's own Whirling Strike. No, sorry, not the Whirling Strike, the Wounding Strike, which slows and deals damage over time. Alright, so the next step is to create these units. These are just placeholder units. So we have to create the actual units that we will use within the map. This is a pretty tedious process. There are a few things that I want to change for all units, such as their health regeneration, their attack type, their armor type, their movement speed, want to hide them from the minimap and so on. So this I'm just doing real quick for all the units. Alright, so these are the actual final units. I've scaled them up correctly, I've adjusted their selection circles, I've adjusted their colors, and everything like that. So they are ready now to be implemented into the map, so let's go into that right now. Okay, I'm working in Wurst, if you're curious, which is a coding language for Warcraft 3 that compiles into the Jazz language. I won't go into too much detail with how I'm doing this. All I'm saying right now is that I have this code which represents the round in itself, and I can adjust some settings for the round, such as the name and the health orb spawn, and so on. And then we have a unit spawner for each type of unit that spawns. Sometimes I implement more unit spawner for the same type of unit, which allows me to progress the spawning of that unit type. So I already set up the round settings and all that, so I'm just gonna add the unit spawner 1 for each unit and see if the units are actually spawning into the map. So I've just copied the unit spawner setup from another round and put it into this round. And I'm just changing the settings for each unit spawner so it fits for one of each unit. This includes setting the time at which they start spawning and how often they spawn, and of course the unit ID of the unit that it is spawning. Alright, and here goes the first test of the unit spawners in the map, and everything seems to be working just fine. I didn't realize, however, that the elementals are a little bit small, and then of course there is a temporary problem with the sirens and the water elementals not attacking anything. But that's okay, because they're not meant to attack anything. They have some sort of special attack instead, you know, the tornado and the crushing wave. So I'm just going to fix their size real quick, and then I decided I already wanted to add some effects when they spawn. I want to add some special effect and some sound effect. I made it very simple to add these into the unit spawner in the code, so it's not going to take too long. If I could decide for a sound, that is.
Is it safe?
Hey, sailor.
For Naja?
By a shark, my soul, by land, my way to everything. By a shark, waiting
For Naja.
I initially thought that I would use the Naga sounds, but I didn't really like them, so I tried to come up with something different. And I actually ended up using Snapdragon and Turtle sounds for 2 of the units, the male Naga. The Naga Siren, I used the regular Naga Siren sound, and I also set up a special when they spawn, so instead of the regular polymorph thing, they make like a crushing wave splash kind of thing on the ground. Which, yeah, well, that seems a little bit more fitting. Okay, so the final thing that I realized I have to fix is the unit team colors. There's a bug where none of my units actually, they automatically get the color that I set for them, even though I set it into the world editor unit object. I've come up with a solution for this by implementing a system in my code so that I can add a specified or a custom color for all units spawning into the map of a certain type. So I'm just gonna adjust that into the code right now, and then everything should be good. And sure enough, all the colors are updated into the map and all the spawners are actually working just fine right now. So I think it's fitting to stop here for today. We've created all the units, we've implemented them into the round, and we've set up the round. So we've done all the framework for this round, and we're ready to implement the mechanics next time. So I think next time we will actually do the most difficult, I would say, or more interesting mechanic, say the tornadoes from the Naga Siren. Cool. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to know when the next part is coming out, just hit the subscribe button. And anyways, I will see you next time, and thanks for watching.